Hey crew, it's Pitt and I am back with today's Timeless Tarot reading for September the 25th of 2025, but this is a timeless tarot reading, so whenever you find it is exactly when it was meant to find you. We're going to pull 8 cards from the Divine Feminine, 8 cards from the Divine Masculine, in accordance with the 8 human chakras, and walk in the path of the tarot so that we can get a better understanding of how best to manifest our highest timeline in accordance with Spirit. I've already done a pre-shuffle, but I'd like to get a couple more just to make sure everything is where it needs to be, and to use this opportunity to let you know that I am available for direct consultations at the link provided in the box down below. And now that we have these cards shuffled where they are meant to be, as awkward as that shuffle was, let us begin pulling in the base. And in the base we have the Six of Wands. In the sacral, the Six of Wands is in reverse. We have the Hierophant in the sacral, and that is also in reverse. In the solar plexus, we have the Star in reverse. In the heart, we have the Nine of Wands. In the throat, we have the World in reverse. In the third eye, we have the Page of Swords. And in the crown, we have the Page of Cups. Very interesting energy. We are going to hold the 8th card for the end of the read, but feel free at any point in time to let me know what you think that it might be. Next, we will pull from the Divine Masculine deck. The Divine Feminine, the cards that are already on the table, lets us know what the current energies are, the current situation. The Divine Masculine lets us know what steps and actions that we can take to help manifest our highest timeline in accordance with Spirit. And now, we will begin pulling in the crown. And in the crown we have the Five of Cups in reverse. In the third eye we have the Two of Swords. In the throat we have the Six of Swords. In the heart we have the Sun. Very interesting combination. In the solar plexus we have the Star again, twice in the same spot. This time it is standing upright. In the sacral, we have the Eight of Swords in reverse, and in the base, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Very interesting energy. All right, so we're also going to save the 8th card from the Divine Masculine for the end of the read, but feel free to let me know what you think it would be. All right, so let's read the room, and in the room we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major arcana. These are major issues, but they may display themselves a little bit subtly. That is almost half of the read. We have 1, 2, 3 swords. We have, 4 swords. 1, 2, 3. No, that's 3. Okay. 3. No, there is the 4th one. So 1, 2, 3, 4 swords. We have 1 cup and 2 wands. We do not have pentacles displayed at all. All right, so let's see what the path of the tarot is telling us today. We begin in the understanding that there is a path to walk. This is where your hopes and fears reside, what you think or what you hope might come true, and what you fear might come true. Neither one of those are entirely good. You should be living with faith, which is the balance between those, believing that the appropriate next step will lead to the appropriate place. You have the Page of Cups. This is an understanding that you are to reach, that you may fear reaching, or you may fear you are not reaching, or that you hope to reach around an emotional situation right now. This is hopes and fears, and it is emotions because it is cups. Cups are body, spirit, they are feelings, they are water, they are relationships. And so it is spousal connections, family connections, co-worker connections, and friendships. But it is not the people. It is the connections and the emotions behind it. This is an understanding because it is a page that is the higher level of understanding that is required. This is your current situation, which indicates that right in the current situation, the Page of Cups is going to be you are coming to an understanding. In the reverse, it's you are not coming to an understanding. And so you have it presented upright. Your hope, possibly, you do have this here, so it might be a fear, is that you are coming to an understanding about an emotional situation. Now, coming to an understanding in a negative connotation, which not necessarily here, right? This is more likely you are coming to an understanding that is going to have a fruitful outcome. This is probably you are hoping to come to an understanding as opposed to fearing it, and we will talk about why right now. You have as your clarifier the active card, the steps that you can take, the Five of Cups, which again is cups. It is about the emotions, about the connections. Both of these cards deal with emotions and connections. This is your hopes and fears, right? This upright is the letting go of regrets. This is the challenge of emotions, and that can be holding on to things that are no longer serving you. He is so busy looking at these 3 spilled cups that he does not even realize that there are 2 more right behind him. And if he would just turn around and let go of the past and instead look forward to the future, he would realize that he is being provided for with emotions. And farther on, there is a bridge that leads to the city of the new place. But he is consumed with looking in the wrong direction, in the wrong way. In the reverse, this is you letting go of that. This is you actively not regretting, overcoming the challenge so that you can reach the understanding of this emotional situation in the correct way. This is you letting go of something that is holding you back, relating to emotions, and it is leading to your understanding. That is hopeful, right? That is more hopeful than it is despairing. Next, we go to the decisions, right? Once you are aware there is a path, you got to make a decision about it. Do you want to walk it? Do you not? Either one is valid. You get to choose, but you have to make the decision. This is the area that deals with sloth and diligence. Are you working towards your goals? That would be diligence. Are you not? That is sloth. The overconsumption of either, however, is a bad thing, and so you should be acting in the middle with patience, taking the correct step at the correct time to get to the correct outcome. And you have another understanding. This is an understanding around a thought or an idea. This is swords, and swords are soul. They are thought, they are intellect, they are communications, combat, and clarity. This is an understanding about a thought, which indicates some clarity, but you do have this, right? You see that there are numerous clouds here that is only partly able to see. He is standing facing into the past, not the future. He is facing into the past, kind of leaning into the future, but still facing the past with his sword of discernment, right? The ability to think, to cognate, and communicate. This is a choice that you are currently being faced with and is the understanding of a thought. Now, what can you do in order to reach that understanding? Make a decision. You have a decision card in a decision spot. This is the thought card in the thought spot. It may be related to a thought that you need to understand. There's a lot of reiteration here today. And so what this is a blind choice. The view may be a little bit obscured. What? She is blindfolded. She is not able to see. The waters of life are behind her, but she is seated firmly upon the land, facing into the future. But she can't see. She doesn't know what she is making the decision about, but she has a decision to make, maybe without clarity, right? This may be that you are making a decision around a thought, right? Or that you need to. It is telling you that you need to make this decision, right? That is going to lead to an understanding around a thought. Now, this is maybe you do not have all of the information that you would like to have to make the decision, but it is still here. You are still being faced with it. This could be getting some clarity, but it is a lot less of that energy. She is obscured. There are clouds in this. And so it is probably that you do not have all of the information that you would really like. This is you making a decision around a thought, an idea, or a communication. There's less of the communication energy, but it is still there. And so this is you needing to come to an understanding twice in your thoughts. One is around letting go of these past regrets, and the other one is making a decision when you may not have all of the information. Next, we go to learning. Learning, this is the area of communication. This is your throat, and it is the area that deals with pride and humility. Pride is taking a little bit or valuing yourself a little bit too much. Humility is valuing yourself not quite enough, and there is a balance in between. That is thankfulness. being thankful that you have assistance, being thankful that you were able to do a good job, and understanding that it does not make you better than anyone. This is an area of communications, right? And you have the world in reverse as your current situation. The world is the most positive card in the entire deck. When it is standing upright, this is a brand new life unfolding to you. This is the culmination of the final harvest, the ultimate level of achievement, right? This is standing upright, all of the good things coming together in the world. There's really not a negative connotation that I am aware of for the world at all, unless it's in the negative, right? Now, this is not an active card. This is not what you are to do. This is your current situation in your communication area. And so this can indicate that maybe you are not talking to the right people, right? This can indicate that maybe your audience is not correct. Maybe you need to expand your audience into the world. This is you are currently, right? And so if it was upright, you are currently in the fruition of the entire world, basically. This is in communication, so if it's upright, you are communicating to the whole world. You are reaching the right audience. You are getting the correct harvest. In the reverse, maybe you're not. Maybe you are not hitting the target audience that you really want. You do have a decision to make about a thought or an idea, and that is kind of reiterated. What we have here is another understanding, right? These pages are a higher level of understanding. This is the lesser level of understanding. This and the Page of Swords are kind of the same thing on different levels. The 6 is that overcome, growth, nurture, energy. Oh, actually, no, I am completely wrong on that. Just dismiss that, right? This is the 4, not the 6. The 6 is the overcome, grow, nurture. This is just past the challenge. This is given the correct energy to get to the correct harvest. What we see here is that he is moving his people from where they were to where they need to be. He is leaving the past, pushing into the future. He has his wife and children with him. Possibly he may just be for hire. They are bringing some baggage, these past conflicts with them, but they are going to a new land. This is the unfolding of something new. This energy that you are to invest is in something new. It is moving from your current situation into the new situation, right? And so what we see with the world in reverse and the 6 of Swords reiterates that you are probably talking to the wrong audience. Maybe that's me, right? Maybe I'm not supposed to do tarot, right? Maybe I'm supposed to do something else, and that would be the correct audience. That's not a definite. That is not even implied necessarily, but it is an example that I'm using. This is you adjusting, right, in your actions to take, adjusting where you are going with it. And this is the world in reverse, which indicates that it might be the wrong target. And so there is a communication that needs to happen, but maybe you are focusing in the wrong way. Next, we go to the understanding. Once you learn a lesson, you have to understand so that you can rise to meet the challenge. You cannot rise to meet the challenge until you have the understanding. This is the area of greed and charity. It is interpersonal relationships, and it is also your core self. Greed is loving the things of the mortal coil just a little bit too much. Charity is not loving them quite enough. Neither one is intrinsically good, but you should be the balance between them, which is generosity, giving appropriately in the right way. You have the 9 of Wands. Now this represents a choice. There is an understanding around a choice that you need to make. This choice is related to change or intuition. This is the 9 of Wands. 9s represent the choice. It is the 2 on a higher level. But Wands are spirit. They are fire. They are life, light, logos. It is intuition and it is change. And so this can indicate that there is a choice about change that you need to make, or a choice about your intuition. If this was in the hope and fear spot, probably intuition. If it was even in your third eye, probably intuition. This is more likely change occurring in your life, especially considering everything. You do have this change card here. Yeah, you got a change card here too. And so this is you making a decision about change in your current situation for your core self, possibly your interpersonal relationships as well. Now, what do you do? How do you achieve this? How do you make this choice? What is the steps to take? You got the Sun. This is the second most positive card in the entire deck. You also have the third most positive card in the entire deck twice. There is a lot of positivity in this read today. Don't take a negative just because they are in reverse. This is the second most positive card in the world. This is the Sun, which is divine provision coming to you and a brand new start. No shit. We have divine providence overhead. We have these sunflowers, which indicate divine providence. We have this little naked baby, which indicates a new life, a new start, a new beginning of a thing. You have the white horse of victory or assistance riding into the future, carrying divine providence. This is one of the most positive cards in the deck, and I really, right, there is a choice to make. It's a positive one, right? That's all I can really get from this. Like, there's no way to enact the Sun. It is a new start, so if there is change that you need to make a decision about, it leads to a brand new life, which is overwhelmingly positive, right? Whatever this is, this choice that you have to make, right? Whatever this is, when it presents itself to you, spend some due consideration, but understand you will not know everything about it, but it is overwhelmingly positive. Like, you have the World, the most positive card, you have the Sun, the second most positive card, and you have the Star twice, the third most positive card in a path. This is speaking aloud your desires, empowering your desires, fueling your desires, and it is all positive. This desire, for whatever it is a positive one. The Sun. Next, we go to the challenge, and you've got the third most positive card twice in your challenge position. Once you come to an understanding, it is time to rise to meet the challenges in your life. You really cannot rise until you have the understanding, but once you have the understanding, you're being told to rise. This is the area that deals with gluttony and denial. It is centered around your stomach, where your food turns into fuel. The balance between gluttony and denial is going to be moderation, taking the correct fuel to get to your destination. You don't want to put diesel in a gas engine. You've got the Star. Now the Star is going to be a, what is that? That is a 17. And so a 17 is going to be a learning opportunity, right? This is the higher iteration of the three. This is on an emotional level. This is a Pisces card, right? It is a representative of water. And what we see when it is standing tall is divine providence, signified by these 8 stars, one of which might be the Sun. She is naked, which, like the baby, means look beyond the normal thing. She is pouring the waters of life equally upon both the water and the land. She has 1 foot on the land and 1 toe in the water, right? That is balanced, but testing new things. Maybe coming out of a comfort zone is the lesson that is to be learned in this emotional situation. You have this in the reverse, which means that it is not currently happening. This is also wish upon a star, and it shall come true, right? And so, in your current situation, it appears your challenge is defining what you want. You may not have a good, clear, definite, hey, I want this in my life. There is a little bit of obscurity here. That indicates maybe there is some danger in making the choice. Not necessarily physical danger, but the risk associated with the dangers you take to succeed in life. This is more than likely you not clearly defining your desires. Lay them out. Write them down. That is the best way, right? Write them down. That is spelling. Speak them aloud. That is casting the spell. Creating the thing which brings you what you truly desire. Define your desires. Say what you want. And that is reiterated here, right? This is you in the feminine. Not currently. It's in the reverse. This is the masculine telling you what to do, right? What actions can be taken? Clearly define what you want. What do you want? Wish upon a star. Say it. It's coming true. Define what you want. Make it the highest that you can. Make sure your alignment is correct, right? Don't be greedy. But there is nothing wrong with success. There is nothing wrong with having material wealth. That gives you new opportunities to learn and grow. Define what you want. And that is your challenge. Next comes the overcome, the growth and nurture. You rise to meet the challenge, you overcome it, and then you rest right before the harvest. This is giving the correct energy to produce the results you want. This is the area that deals with lust and chastity, so there might be some children involved in physical generation. The balance between lust and chastity is going to be a sacred union, finding the correct person to be aligned with. This is how you give energy to get to your harvest. This is what you need to nurture in your life. This is what you need to double down on in order to get where you want to go. Right? This is applying fertilizer, water, and weeding your garden. Just making sure it has what it needs to reach the harvest. You've got the Hierophant. This is a challenge. It is a 5/5s represent a challenge. It is in the reverse, but when it is standing tall, this represents authority. This can represent a challenge with authority. If this is in the communication spot, you may receive a summons, right? You might get served with papers. You might be getting a traffic ticket, right? This is in the nurturing energy. This is in the reverse. When he is standing tall, he is seated in his throne of authority between the pillars of light and darkness in equal balance. And these two people have come to him. And some people view this as a marriage card. It is in the spot where you would expect to see marriage. This is the lust and chastity spot, sacred union. But I do not consider this a marriage card. Many people do because of these two people at the priest. But these are priests too, right? Both of these are priests. They did not go to the Pope, which is what this card used to be called, in order to get married. These priests came to their authority to get an assignment. They came to their authority for punishment. They came to their authority for blessings, which is indicated on the card. What we see in the reverse is you possibly being the authority, right? That is the higher path of attainment, is stepping into authority. The challenge of provision is to learn that you need to be an authority in your life. Or that's one of the challenges of provision. The other one is deprivation. This is going to be the clarifier for the Knight of Pentacles. So this is probably the only pentacle you got down. Or even close, like tangentially even. All the rest of them are all very high levels. And so this can indicate a problem with an authority. But since it is in what you need to nurture, and it is in the reverse, this is probable that you are bucking an authority, right? That an authority is a limiting factor in you reaching your harvest. Maybe you have a control system, which we'll get to in a second, right? Maybe you have a control system, a belief, something in your life that is not allowing you to take that, right? Maybe you don't want to clearly define what you want because your current control system doesn't allow that, right? If, for instance, you are a Christian, Jesus said, give away all that you own, come and follow me. Well, maybe your true desire is to have money. There's nothing wrong with that. You are supposed to have money. You are not supposed to give away all that you have. That was an allegory. And so because of your belief in the control system, you won't clearly define what you want. That is just an example. It is not in particular for you. But you can extrapolate from that what the spirit of this is. You are facing a challenge where you are against the authority, and that is something to nourish in your life. Then, clarifying that, you have the presentation of another path. This is the 8. That is the presentation of a higher path. This, again, is swords. Thoughts, intellect, clarity, communication. This is way over here, but it is still an interpersonal relationship. It might be a communication from an authority or to an authority, but this is self-imposed restrictions. This woman does not realize that she is no longer truly captive. She is blindfolded so she can't see. It's understandable why she doesn't know. She is bound, but her hands are free. You can make it out, but you just barely could. She has all of these swords, but they are in the past. They have taken her captive, but they are no longer currently doing so. If she would remove herself from the situation, remove those self-imposed restrictions, she would be able to achieve her goals of the new path. This card is saying, hey, you are self-imposing yourself. You are restricting yourself from something. You have this in the reverse in the active slot, right? This is the divine masculine. The steps and actions you can take, quit restricting yourself. Understand that you have the capacity to make choices, and there is no control system that can hold you back. That appears to be what your challenge is, right? That this control system possibly has imposed upon you these self-imposed restrictions. That control system does not have control over you. You are divinely here. God created you specifically for a mission. What that mission is, I can't define, but only you can accomplish it. That is why you are here. Sometimes we align ourselves with things that hold us back from our true mission. That appears to be what is going on here. You have self-imposed yourself because of a governmental authority or a control system from defining what you want. Do that. Next, we go to the harvest. Once you have weeded, water, and fertilized your garden, it is time to get your just rewards, to get the things that are due to you. This is the area of love and wrath. Love is the giving away of affection. Wrath is the not returning of it. And the balance between those is going to be kindness, treating everyone as though they were a human being. What do you have in your harvest? The imminent harvest. Now, this is not a 7, it is a 6, but this is the victory card. This to me is the victory card in the entire tarot. This guy is riding his white horse of victory or divine assistance, right, into the future. He is victorious. He has on his wand of change or intuition the laurel of victory. He has on his head another laurel of victory. He is riding into the future, and everybody is pretty happy about it, except this one little guy back here who's a little bit jealous of your victory. This is your current situation, and you are not victorious, right? But it's close. If you are not about to be, if you take the right steps, it would not be the 6. It would be something else. If you were facing a challenge, it'd be a 5. You're not facing the challenge. This is a 6. You need to nurture something. You need to nurture your victory. How do you do that? By assuming your authority. Now, clarifying that with steps that can be taken, there is a lesson to learn around change. This is the Wheel of Fortune, which indicates change coming into your life. This is change that you have a small measure of control over. The Tower, you have no control. The Chariot, you are in full control. The Wheel is the median between those. You are either spinning the wheel or you are betting on which one will stop. And so you have a small measure of control in this situation. But it is change, and there is something to learn about it. This learning about change is going to bring you victory in your life. Maybe you need to change your self-imposed restrictions. Next, we go to the divine. This is a direct message from the divine to you. It is not colored by any of the virtues and vices. The divine has the virtues and vices in perfect balance. Did you drop your guess as to what this would be? I'm going to do mine now. Right now, there is a heavy energy right now that you are restricted and that it is you, right? You're not seeing clearly. You need an understanding. You have some past regrets you are getting rid of in your hope spot, leading to understanding. You have a challenge around another system where you are restricting yourself. You have the 9 of Pentacles, which is the wounded warrior. I did not touch on that, but this is choosing something about your life, getting out of combat, right? He has finished his combat, but he's got a bandage wrapped around his head. He's a little bit knocked up. There is a heavy change energy here today. I would not be surprised if this was the wheel in reverse. I would not be surprised if this was another understanding, probably around a relationship. So maybe a 4 of cups or a 2 of cups or a 4 of wands. This one is going to be you letting go of some restrictions, maybe making a choice around a cup, maybe making a choice uh, around change. So let's see what we got. The Four of Swords, which is contemplate and meditate, and the Tower, which is definitely change. All right, neither one in reverse either. So you have a 4, which is an understanding. This understanding is around an idea. And how do you get it? By meditation. This is the meditation card, right? The 4 is the meditation, or the 4 of Swords is the meditation. The 4 of Wands is the celebration. The 4 of Pentacles is the provision, right? It is the meditative card. He is laying in a spirit of repose underneath divine providence in a holy place. He has his instrument of war underneath him, his tool that he uses, and he has taken these from other people. And he is now contemplating these things. He is trying to understand the meaning behind the combat, the meaning behind the idea, the meaning behind, right? This is meditation. This is you currently trying to reach an understanding about an idea. You have an understanding about an idea. You have an understanding about an emotion. Now, what can you do to reach this understanding about an idea? Embrace the change, because it is coming, right? This is change, like I just told you. The Tower is change that you don't have control over. This, what's the number on this? This is a 16, so that is going to be a choice, right? Whenever the Tower happens, you have a choice, right? You may not like the choice, but you got one. What we see here is that this Tower was reaching into the heavens, and it was a little bit prideful. It had a crown upon it. And the divine did not care for that at all. And so he sent a bolt of lightning to strike off the crown from the Tower, which is reaching to the heavens. But in doing so, he knocked these 2 people to the ground. One of them looks like they might be all right. The other one does not. And so this indicates divine change, right? Divine change that you do not have any control over. This is the presentation of the higher path of attainment. This is change unfolding in your life. There is no other interpretation for the Tower than that there is change that you are not in control of. Like, unless it's in the reverse, and then it is change that you are in control of. That is the only difference. This is you learning, or no, making a choice about that change, right? Once the change happens, you can either fight against it or just accept it. That is really the only choice that is available here. Generally speaking, you should accept the change. And so, if we take these 2 cards in consideration of everything else that is on the deck, what are we looking at today? You have an emotional understanding that you need to reach about some change that is unfolding in your life. You may not have all of the information. It may be outside of your control, but you do have a choice in everything. You can choose to accept or you can choose to deny. Doesn't really affect the outcome except how it plays out in your life. Whether it is a positive change or a negative change largely depends upon your mindset. Most change winds up being positive in the long run, especially if it is divinely ordained. You have a reiteration throughout this entire reading of extremely positive change coming in your life. That's going to bring us to the end of the read, and hopefully I brought a little bit of enlightenment and not too much confusion. If you like what I'm doing over here, let me know down below. Give me a like, a share, a follow, throw me a comment. Whether you agree or disagree with anything that was said, put it in the box down below. And if it remains respectful, it gets to remain up. If you really like what I'm doing over here, hit me with that super thanks. Consider joining for a membership, picking up a copy of my book where I teach you to do magic responsibly, or consulting me directly through the link provided down below. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me, and I am praying for you every single day. Until next time, I love you. God loves you. You are perfect, whole, and complete, just the way that you are. And this has been Pitt State. Peace.